are live. Uh, good morning. I'm Ian Riñon, an independent alternative media practitioner, among other things. And welcome to another Biglaang Live here on YouTube. Gusto ko sana sa FB pero parang hindi kaya. Pero tingnan ko kung makakayanan ng isang ng isang device ko, or it would just go uh, it would just go down the drain kasi mahina na yung battery ng lumang device ko, which I have been using for the past 3 years of doing this channel. So it's about time din. And besides, kailangan ko din to dahil marami din akong ginagawa. But maybe I'll do another biglaang live pero sa FB naman, and it's gonna be the exact same thing. Pero you know what? I'll do it. I'll try to go live. Paano ba to? Sana lang hindi namatay to. Hindi to magano kasi it's a little bit I'm a little bit concerned about the ano ba to? Sign in mode. Okay. So, paano ba? Okay. So, hindi lang mga kababayan na. Anyway, inaano ko pa lang to. Nga pala, I have a mug of coffee. Parang brewed banter na rin, pero not quite. But, yeah. Tara, kape tayo. Alright. Ang hirap palang mag-live stream ng vertical. So, ulitin ko na lang din yung opening spiel ko para magkasabay sila sa YouTube tsaka Facebook. Right. Okay, I'm going live on Facebook now. Okay, we're live on Facebook. We're live. Okay, so good morning, everyone. I'm Ian Riñon, an independent alternative media practitioner, among other things. And this is a simultaneous biglaang live for both Facebook and YouTube. So, actually, dalawang camera ang ginagamit ko ngayon. So, ewan ko. Ang dami kasi nangyari. And with both phones now are now being used for live stream, uh, I just have to take the time here to tell you that it might be a brood banter, but not quite kasi nga biglaang live. But yeah, tara, kape tayo. May problema pa yung connection ko. Ano ba yan? Anyway, so what happened? What happened yesterday? So, una sa lahat, gusto ko lang magbigay ng shoutout, or I want to give a huge shoutout to all those who have helped me out yesterday, lalong-lalo na sa Barangay Molino Tres, sa Bacor, Cavite, because if you have read my story on Facebook, I just suffered from heat exhaustion kasi hindi naman sumakit yung bato ko, talaga yung ulo ko lang talaga dahil sa sobrang init. And given that there are warnings that it's gonna feel like 50 degrees Celsius today, I decided not to cycle today. So as much as I hate it, as much as I um, as much as I uh, as much as I wanted to cycle, and yun talagang ano ko, yun talagang workout ko talaga, I have to devise uh another um method, or another way of exercising without which is an alternative to cycling, or as a recovery for cycling. Perhaps kapag lalo na kapag medyo mahaba-haba yung mga padyak ko. So, yun. I yeah, I just did the inevitable. Parang ganun. Uh, ayun. But please don't worry about me, mga kababayan. I am better now, and I would never do that again. Yung hahatawin ko sarili ko sa mga ahon. And I just repositioned the Facebook camera para uh, ano yun, sabay yung pag finish ko. So, oh my goodness. Uh, so yun, that's what happened. So, kasi kahapon dumating yung pilgrim relic ni Saint Therese, Saint Therese Matan of Lisieux. We know her as Saint Therese of the Child Jesus and the Holy Face. Basically, she is the Carmelite nun who has swooned the world over dahil napakaganda niya. And perhaps in the life beyond, she would be much more beautiful. So yun lang naman yung sa akin. Ayun. So nandun ako sa Santo Niño de Molino Parish. Napakalapit lang relatively mula dito sa Intrepid HQ. So binike ko na. I basically cycled all the way there. And tamang-tama lang pala ang dating ko kasi paparating pa lang yung relics. And when the relics arrived, sobrang hindi ko talaga makakalimutan na ang lakas ng amoy ng rosas. I mean, ang lakas ng amoy ng bulaklak. It really smelled like rose. I don't know if it's because the reliquary or the casing or anything there was was parang pinaliguan siya ng rose water, or perfume that has a rose scent, or it is coming from the relic itself na amoy rosas yung naging katawang lupa ni Santa Teresita. But I'm not here to deal with that. So ayun. Once her relics were positioned inside the church, nag-divine office, and then nagpahalik. Yun lang naman yung nangyari dun sa Santo Niño de Molino. Kasi after that, dinala yung relics sa buhay na tubig. I think akala ko kahapon diretso na siyang Imus Cathedral. Yung pala magsa-stop over pa pala siya doon sa buhay na tubig sa seminary ng Diocese of Imus. And then saka siya dadalhin sa Imus Cathedral, where a mass was offered by the Bishop of Imus, Reynaldo Evangelista. So original plan ko talaga, sasamahan ko yung relic. Kaya lang sobrang init talaga, kaya parang naisip ko I have to go home. I mean, in the first place, kaya lang naman ako nag-bike kasi gusto ko makita yung relics, and this is the only opportunity that I have aside from accompanying it to Imus Cathedral. And besides, um, talagang hindi ko na rin um, ayoko na rin magtagal kasi sobrang init talaga. And I made this very, very huge mistake na humataw ng ahon. Kasi there's this part in Bacoor called Town and Country. Uh, ano siya, village or something na pwedeng dumaan doon ng bike. Pagbaba mo, kasi pagpasok mo ng gate, lusong yon kasi andun yung isa sa mga tributaries ng Zapote River. On the right is Molino Dam. So, mababa yon kasi nga parang may dam siya, tapos parang bulusok pababa yung galing do sa Molino Dam. So, bababa yon, and then since ilog yon, syempre parang pa V-shape yon. So, uh, parang sinabi ko doon sa naging yung naging kasama ko nun. Kasi shout out doon sa taong yon. Kill naman sa sarili mo. Sinabi ko na ano yun? Babuelo ko kasi ahon to. That's the exact words that I said. And I shouldn't have done that. Sa sobrang init na yun. Tapos, um, ayun, sa sobrang init na yun. Tapos, hinataw ko yung ahon. So, I shouldn't have done that. If you're watching this right now or after the fact, kung mainit, tapos ganyan, chill lang. I I learned that lesson na wag mong hatawin. So, bloody hell. Hindi ko alam kung basta pagkatapos ng ahon, nakakaramdam na ako ng kabog ng puso, sumisipit na yung dibdib ko. And then, dumaan pa ako dun sa isang kasama, parang acquaintance ko na nakatira lang dun sa Town and Country. Bumati pa ako. And then, after that, pagdating dun sa isang tindahan, dun na ako nakaramdam ng yung nagmamanhid yung ulo ko, nagpapantig yung pandinig ko, talagang tuliro na ako nun. And I asked the store owner kung pwede ba akong sumandal dun sa yung salamin ng paninda niya ng tinapay. Kasi yun lang naman yung masasandalan ko at that point kasi talagang ayoko na rin gumalaw eh. Ayun. And sinubukan kong buhusan ng sarili ko ng tubig. And then, some random folks just helped me out. Tatanong sila, sir, okay ka lang ba? Sabi ko, nahihilo ako. And then, paano to? Pinisil-pisil yung yung kamay ko. Sabi ko, sir, nararamdaman mo ba? Opo, sir, aray, masakit. So, I was conscious the whole time. Kaya, kahit paano, I didn't pass out that much. And, ayun, eventually, someone called the barangay na respondehan. Pagdating nila, okay na ako, naka-recover na ako. Nakaupo na ako sa isang case ng beer. Yung plastic na cases, tapos binaligtad lang para maging upuan. Umupo ako doon sa isang case ng beer. Tapos habang binubuhusan ako ng tubig, nilalagyan ako ng yelo sa ulo tsaka sa batok. Of course, it was it's a very not really painful but shocking sensation on my end. Pero eventually naka-recover din ako. For the rest of the day, sobrang sakit ng ulo ko, parang And yeah, nalaman ni Mother Superior na nahilo ako and all that. So I do thank Saint Therese for helping me out. Talagang it's just my parang napansin ko lang na she did this to me. Kaya malaking shoutout talaga sa napakagandang babaeng na to, Saint Therese. She basically saved me from going to the hospital because it could have been worse. So mabuti talaga it turned out as it turned out. And malaki talaga pasasalamat ko sa mga tumulong sa akin. And once I get back on the saddle, dadaan talaga ako ng Town and Country para magpasalamat kasi talagang it could have been worse. And let this be a lesson for myself and for everyone else na kung hindi nyo kaya, wag nyo pilitin. Kung hindi nyo kung hindi kaya ng katawan, wag nyo hatawin. Stay hydrated, stay shaded, lalo na sa tanghaling tapat. And tanghaling tapat pa ako pumadyak, so it's also on me. So yun. And what else? Pakiramdaman nyo na din ang katawan niyo. So yun. Do consider that. So yun. What else? Hindi ko na alam, mga kababayan. Yeah. And I'm also resolved to pay this kindness given to me forward. Kasi naniniwala talaga ako sa concept ng paying it forward. I really want to pay it forward. Na sana makatulong din ako sa ibang tao. The way that I was helped. Kasi everyone deserves that. Everyone deserves to be helped. So hindi ko na lang ipapakita sa camera, baka kasi masabihan pa ako. And besides, it should be a personal experience. And yun, I think it's a private thing. Yeah, yun lang naman yung sa akin. And perhaps the reason why I think this was an intervention that I can credit to Saint Therese, because she herself has been struggling with her mental health, aside from her struggles with living a holy life. Kasi if you know Saint Therese's story, she lost her mom when she was a child, si Saint Zélie Martin, yung asawa ni Saint Louis Martin. So basically, her parents were also canonized as saints just recently. So yun. So she lost her mom. Tapos yung mga ate niya pumasok sa kumbento, especially yung panganay na kapatid niya na si Pauline, who did the mother duties to Therese when she was very young. And then she had to live the trauma of all of that, na namatayan siya ng nanay, tapos yung mga ate niya nasa kumbento, And then once she entered convent herself, binuli siya. Binuli siya ng mga Madreng Carmelita. And prior to that, she was bullied in school. So, talagang masalimutin talaga yung naging buhay ni Saint Therese. But, given all that, she basically took it to her stride, kumbaga, na nakangiti lang siya. But probably it was just her masking her sadness or masking her mental struggles. Kasi marami ako nababasa na if ever Saint Therese was diagnosed, she would have been diagnosed with OCD and depression and severe depression and perhaps generalized anxiety disorder. So, yeah. Meron din ako nabasa yung isang ate niya, si Leonie, yung katangi-tanging Matan sister or katangi-tangi sa uh, 5 magkakapatid na Matan na hindi Carmelita. She was a visitant nun. She entered the order of visitation. Earlier parang naging naging Franciscan nun, Poor Clares. Pero lumipat siya sa mga visitandines. So itong ate niya na si Leonie, some people are are classifying her as autistic. So the mental struggles actually runs through the family. And besides, Saint Louis Martin was probably the most affected of all kasi nabiyudo siya and unti-unting nawawala sa kanya yung mga anak niya. But the fact that they are now recognized as holy people, we can definitely relate to the Martin family. And I just hope that the other members of the Martin family would have their canonizations, causes for canonization advance para isang buong pamilya silang isang buong pamilya silang ma-venerate sa langit at sa lupa. So, kumbaga, holiness runs in the family, and the fact that Saint Therese was also declared a doctor of the church, we can definitely say that it was the Matan girls were influenced by their parents, who themselves wished to enter convents and become religious. Saint Louis wanted to be a religious priest. Saint Zélie wanted to be a nun, pero parehas silang nireject. So they just created a family instead, and their children became nuns. So, yeah. Nakakatuwa lang yung kwento na yun. And at least that's something that all of us in the 21st century can relate. Kasi talagang, yeah, it's really masasabi mo talaga na na everyone has their struggles. Everyone has their mental health struggles, and it just goes to show that they're just like us, and they persevered after all that. So, yun. Yeah. So that's one down. Marami pa akong gustong ang dami din kasing nangyari within the Holy Week eh. i-rundown ko na lang, parang pasadahan ko na lang. Uh, the Tukomi brothers uh, did a prank that would probably get them into trouble dahil kinasuhan sila ng mga police for that kidnap prank that they did recently. So they had it coming. And besides, bakit nag-exist pa rin ang mga prankster? So yun lang naman yun. And then uh yeah, may mga highlights din eh. Pero may mga highlights din na medyo trendy din eh. Pero alam mo, it's not really something that I am interested about, but other creators have already tackled that. Isa pang bagay na na medyo concerning ay yung sitwasyon sa Sudan. So, for some reason, Sudan is having another conflict regarding a civil conflict in Sudan. So marami din may mga Pilipino din doon. There are also other foreign nationals there. So it's absolute chaos there. And then Finland. Finland became the 31st country to enter the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO. So because of the Russo-Ukrainian War, tawag dito, napilitan ng Finland na sumama sa NATO kasi it has its precedents even before the Second World War. So that's just yung kwento nila. It goes a long way back. So yun. Ano pa ba? Na-miss ko? Or ano pa ba yung mga Yeah. In regards to the Catholic Church, dalawa yan. One is this issue regarding an Anglo-Catholic congregation. Basically, these are Anglicans who are cosplaying as Catholics, who are not part of the ordinariates for former Anglicans. These people have celebrated a religious service in the Pope's very cathedral, the Basilica of St. John Lateran in Rome. So, sabi ng mga nangangasiwa dun sa St. John Lateran, it was a miscommunication between the Catholic Church and this Anglican congregation, but the damage has been done. So too late to hero. Yun lang naman yung masasabi ko. And then, in speaking of the ordinariates, just last night nabasa ko that the Pope has received the resignation of Monsignor Carl Reed, the ordinary of the Personal Ordinariate of Our Lady of the Southern Cross in Australia. And this will take effect on July 1. Bakit July 1? Kasi in the Australian culture, in the Australian context, their financial year starts on July 1. And June is basically the end of their financial year. Kumbaga, while other people are celebrating the new year on January 1, Australians are celebrating their new year as a secular culture every 1st of July. And kumbaga, it's just an economical practicality that the Australian Church also seems to have been practicing for a long while now. Kaya July 1 yung nila, yung parang New Year nila. And besides, even in the halls of power, the Australian government, a new government in parliament a new government in their parliament begins their government on the 1st of July. uh, Australian governors general are inaugurated every July 1. Kumbaga nagkahawa-hawa na in Aussie society. Talagang July 1 is the beginning of their year. Although they still celebrate the calendar new year, they still celebrate that. Pero when it comes to their national interests, yun nga, uh, Aussies celebrate their New Year on July 1st. So July 1 is the effectivity of Monsignor Reed's resignation at tinanggap na yun ng Santo Papa, and in his stead the Pope chose the current Bishop of Broken Bay. I'm not sure where it is. Where is it in Australia? Kung sang lupalop siya, and perhaps siya sa New South Wales, I think, yung Broken Bay. But the bishop of that place would serve as the apostolic administrator. Now, to give you some context kung bakit nag-resign tong si Monsignor Reed, first of all, he's a Canadian. So, for some reason, kahit na meron siyang Commonwealth similarities with the Aussies, siguro na culture shock din siya. And besides, he just weathered the storm through the pandemic. And yun nga, that's the thing. Pangalawa, there was a recent apostolic visitation of the Australian Ordinariate, and the visitation officials included Bishop Stephen Lopes of the Personal Ordinariate of the Chair of St. Peter in North America, and then another prelate or another cleric. Tapos itong bishop na to, parang kasama siya sa visitation party, yung bishop yung obispo ng Broken Bay. So it was a practical choice, I have to say, but a lot of banter from Australian ordinariate members suggest that it's a bittersweet thing, kasi it might be it might signal the end of the Personal Ordinariate of Our Lady of the Southern Cross. It might also signify a restructuring or reorganization of the three ordinariates globally. And given the fact na effectively nabigo, or the ordinariate mission here in the Philippines failed, and for some reason I'm part of it, I'm part of the failure. Perhaps, yeah, it spiraled, or it gave the it was the main factor kung bakit may mga pag-aalangan, parang may nababagabag yung mga dating Anglikano sa Australia na part nitong ng Australian Ordinariates. So sayang, ako mismo nasasayangan ako, kasi I pray the divine office as prayed by the ordinariates, and it sucks na mas nag-flourish pa yung ordinariate community sa Guam kesa dito sa Pilipinas, given that we both have Hispanic roots. Guam was part of the Philippines back then, pero yeah, yun ang mangyayari. So what's the implication? What's the implication of this? There's a probability na mahati ang Australian Ordinariate. Australia would be incorporated into the British Ordinariate of Our Lady of Walsingham, while Japan, Guam, and perhaps the Philippines, if ever manumbalik yung namin, yung uh, parang thrust namin, or at least uh, Bishop Lopes would tell the CBCP na there's this group of people who wanted to pray the divine office or the divine worship of the divine worship mass the way that the ordinariates are offering it. Perhaps uh, mabibilang tayo sa North American Ordinariate. Malamang gano'n na mangyayari. And watch this space. Yun na lang masasabi ko. Watch this space. Kasi it's really complicated at this point. So, yun lang naman. And finally, we end today's Biglaang live on a happy note, or in an exciting note, kasi last Thursday, 4/20 of all dates, SpaceX launched its first ever Starship flight test. So the primary mission of that flight is to gather data. So yun ang sinasabi ng SpaceX. Many punters, or many in the media or in society are saying na why waste money on this? Kasi ang nangyari, ano ba to? Ano ba pwede gawing props? Ito na lang. Kasi medyo Starship is a girthy boy. So ipagkaalam nyo lang na itong Starship. So nag-launch siya. Some of the engines were not working. It shut down. Tapos bigla siyang nagpagewang-gewang, tumambling-tumbling, and many who play Kerbal Space Program noticed this, and they were just surprised. That thing's going Kerbal. That thing's going Kerbal. So yun. Yun yung nangyari. And then since yun nga, siya paikot-ikot, the launch team has decided to terminate the flight by blowing them up, or in SpaceX speak, rapid unscheduled disassembly, or RUD. So yun. Yeah, but at least the primary objective was done. They had the data they needed, and sabi nila, and I quote something that was said during the launch. Everything we just wanted to clear the tower, yung launch tower. They just wanted to all they wanted was to clear for the rocket to clear the tower, and everything beyond that is icing on the cake. So that was a thick layer of icing na umabot ng 4 minutes yung paglipad ng Starship, and everyone cheered. So I guess the cynics in the space flight community can go screw themselves, kasi the company itself is treating it as a success, while the cynics are saying it's a failure. So ewan, pero para sa akin it is a success, kasi at least it cleared the tower. Yun lang naman yung objective nila. Parang gusto lang nila na lumipad yon, and then iteration, as a result of that, iterate the spacecraft, and then do it all again. Ito, rinse and repeat. Yun yung nila. So yeah. And another coincidence is that the serial numbers of the components of Starship were ship 24 sa taas and then booster 7 sa baba. So 24/7 420. Elon Musk is an absolute bloody genius. And given that it's April, it's autism month, and si Elon na mismo nagsabi na he was diagnosed with Asperger's. So technically it uh he's autistic. So well, that's doubly interesting. And then speaking of next week on April 27, 11:30 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, 3:30 p.m. UTC, I was invited to speak uh, uh, I was invited to speak on the my Mind Your Autistic Brain talk show on YouTube uh, regarding autism and accessibility in education. So uh, I am actually going to be part of the Shine a Light Autistic Advocate campaign of Mind Your Autistic Brain. And I would just like to give a huge shout out to Carol Jean Whittington and uh, and my fellow advocates uh, for uh, for basically uh, being part of this endeavor. Although by accident lang siya, but I guess it was a fortunate accident kasi uh, for the longest time autistic Filipino Filipino autistic self advocates have been struggling to tell our neurotypical Filipino society na uh, they exist. And as someone who has been thinking for the longest time, I might be one of them. Might as well. Might as well tell the world that, or tell our Filipino society na dumalaki din po kaming mga autistics. Can you please stop your baby talk, at sana wag po kayong magdrama, wag naman po kayong magdrama ng sobra-sobra kasi nakaka-apekto din yun sa mental health namin and all that. So, yun. Again, that's gonna be on Thursday, April 27, 11:30 p.m. Oras natin di sa Pilipinas. 15:30 or 3:30 p.m. UTC. So, kung gusto nyo panoorin, by all means. Puyatan to, so sana may kape pa kayo pag pinanood nyo yun. Or if you're a late night person, this show is definitely something that you need to watch kasi I'll be representing the Philippines for some reason. So, ayun. I guess that's all that I need to tell you right now. Mag-iisang oras na rin ako. And I don't wanna bother you any longer. So, I guess I'll raise the toast to uh, everyone who did good, who did their best, and who may have struggled in their in everything that they have done. It's okay not to be okay, and especially I would like to give a huge shout out to all the autistic adults who have been struggling to tell everyone that we exist. It's not just a child thing. It's a way of life. We're gonna live out this neurotype for the rest of our lives, and we'll deal with it, and do help us in dealing with it. So, and also I would also give a huge shout out as well to SpaceX for their magnificent Starship launch. It's not gonna be the last. That's for sure. At talagang panonoorin ko yun. I would definitely watch more starships blowing up as part of their as part of their test culture. So yeah, and also I would also raise a toast as well to Monsignor Reed for his retirement. Uh, may God be with him. May God bless him. And if ever he returns back to Canada, I hope that he would have a very happy retirement. So to all of you who I just gave a shout out to, one last thing, I also give a huge shout out to all cyclists out there. Mag-ingat kayo ngayon kasi mainit, napakainit ngayon. Uh, Stay hydrated, stay shaded. Uh, kung hindi nyo kaya, wag nyo pilitin. Don't do what I did. And kung pupunta kayo dun sa sa pedal up, yung sa cycling fair sa UP, mag-ingat po kayo papunta, pabalik. Ride safe and yeah, ingat po palagi. So to all of you who I have given a shout out, cheers. Oh boy. Yeah, and that's a wrap for this Biglaang live here on the Intrepid Show Facebook page and on the Intrepid Ian Riñon YouTube channel. So kung mapapansin niyo, mas mahaba yung sa YouTube kasi originally sa YouTube lang ako nag-live stream, pero naisip ko I'll give this a try, yung double live stream. So there's gonna be two perspectives. Okay, so that's a wrap. That's basically a wrap. So with all that said, this is Intrepid Ian Riñon reminding you to at all times, now more than ever, be the salt of the earth and the light of the world. Until then, look alive, stay alive, be kind to yourself and to each other. If you're a cyclist, wear a helmet and ride safe. And always remember that you will never be alone in all your struggles. If you don't believe in God, at least there's someone out there who cares for you. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I know wala yatang nanonood ngayon, pero if you watch this after the fact, I would definitely appreciate it. So either way, thanks for watching. From here in Intrepid HQ, have a great weekend. I hope you enjoy the long weekend, and please, take care of yourself out there. All right. From here in Intrepid HQ. Good morning, and see you next time. Ian out. Bye bye.